back to Woodturners Journal. I'm Jared Toth, and today I'm going to show you how I finish most of my projects with a high gloss finish. I get people asking me all the time on how to do it, and I show in all my videos the basics of it, but this one I'll just be completely thorough and I'll show you my technique on how to get a really nice glossy finish at the end. One of the things I use is OB Shine Juice, and Captain Eddie actually made a video a long time ago on how to make it, and I'm going to show how to make it. I'm going to kind of add to his video. I'm going to show you how to make it and then give you some tips that I've figured out with OB Shine Juice. So we'll just start really fast on how to get everything ready to where we're going to apply the finish. So first of all, this is a piece of apple wood that I kind of made kind of a bowl out of, with a really nice lip here, and it's made out of it's apple. And I have another video that shows how to get rid of tool marks, and for that I use this bowl scraper. And people, this may not be their preferred way of doing it, but I really like the bowl scraper. I like the fine, the really fine cuts you can make with it. I recommend it. Check out the other video that I have on it. See if you like it, but I really prefer it. It makes it where there's zero tool marks, and you could start sanding at a higher grit. So after that, I end up using this attachment in one of my drills, and it's made by Diablo, and you can buy a whole bunch of different sanding discs, but it actually speeds up the process a lot. In case there's any kind of little divots or anything that you didn't get with your bowl scraper, it really smooths it out. And I actually start with 180 grit on this. And I kind of worked it. I already did the inside, and I kind of worked it in there, and then I hand sanded it. But I'll show you all that really fast. I'm gonna use this thing, which is, I'm telling you, it's a lifesaver. It's awesome. I'm gonna use this really fast on the outside. I just have basically the space to do really fast, and then I'm gonna go to 220. 320, 400, and then I'm going to jump up to the 600 grit, and then I'll show you what I do from there. But let me just show you this really fast on how easy this makes it. First of all, let me get a mask on. It creates a lot of dust, and you have to watch it because you can take down a lot of material really fast. So. And that's all it takes. Now I can move on to the hand sanding, but it really cleaned all this up really fast. I definitely recommend it. That was 220. Now I'm moving on to 320. So we only went up to 320 so far, And you can already see that it's starting to shine really nice. Next, I'm going to go to 400. I sanded it to 600 and it is smooth and it's already shining. Now, the next step I do is I end up using these 3M finishing pads. It's equivalent to the quadruple zero steel wool, which gives a great finish, and I'm going to end up using that in this whole process too, most likely. But I definitely recommend these because this is already shining. But let's watch what happens when I use it. You gotta keep it moving. Now it is really, really shining. And sanding is the most important part of finishing. So if you don't have the patience to get out all the streaks and everything, you're not going to get the perfect finish that you want. You really have to take your time. And it goes faster once you do the initial 180, 220, and 320. You could do it a lot faster because really all you're doing is, as you get to higher grits, it's more of a polish. That's exactly what this kind of did. It started polishing it. It's so fine that you're not really sanding anymore. You're kind of, any rough edges, you're kind of just rolling over any little microscopic things that you can't even see, giving it this perfect finish. So now, in some of my videos, I normally hit it with the shine juice right now. And that gives a really nice shiny finish. What I have noticed though, is through time, I've noticed it starts dulling and it's not as shiny. And I think I have figured out a way to really bring out all the grain a lot better than shine juice by itself does. And actually make it last. So I'll go into what shine juice is. Shine juice is just equal parts boiled linseed oil, denatured alcohol, and shellac. Equal parts. So you get yourself a little measuring cup, and I'll show you exactly what I do here. So I get a measuring cup just like this. You could get this anywhere, online, hardware store, you name it, and you can measure. It has measuring, and I end up pouring 4 ounces of, denatured alcohol, and I put it in my mason jar. Then I do the 4 ounces of shellac, throw it in my mason jar. And then I do the 4 ounces of the boiled linseed oil, and I throw it in my mason jar. Now you can see that it wants to break, you have to keep it in here with the lid and shake it every time you use it. You end up taking that and throwing it into a squirt bottle that I have. And you could get these, once again, you get online. You could get it at a craft store. I've never seen these at a hardware store or anything, but you can get them at a craft store or online. And this is perfect for when you're applying it, because you're going to end up squeezing it on there. And I'll show you that process. But before I actually use any of this, I have discovered this Formby's tung oil, which I love tung oil anyways, because it really soaks in and penetrates the wood, and I feel it protects the wood better. And this is a high gloss finish, so that's just going to add to the glossiness that I want with this finish. Now, my problem with just the OB Shine Juice by itself is, when you watch me apply it, it applies and dries so fast, I feel it doesn't penetrate well enough. So I discovered putting this on there first, and it takes longer. You're not going to get the speedy, fast finish that you're used to, or that you've seen me do in my videos where, you know, I basically apply it and it's done. It's going to end up taking a couple days to do, but it's worth it. So I'm going to go ahead and apply some of the tung oil on there and let it really soak in, and then we'll let that dry. I'll end up doing about 3 coats of the tung oil. Then I'll end up doing a light sanding and then finishing it with the Shine Juice. So let me apply some of this tung oil and I'll show you. Already, like I said, this is beautiful and shiny, but wait until you see the grain, and it's gonna darken up. It's gonna be amazing. Now, forgive me, I'm out of gloves, so this is a do as I say, not as I do type of deal. You really don't want to get this stuff on your hands too much. I'm out of gloves, so after I apply it, I'm going to rinse off and wash my hands thoroughly to make sure I get it off my hands. I thought I had gloves around here, but apparently I am out. So I'm going to apply a large amount of this. I just squeezed a ton. There's a funnel in there. And you can't put too much, because you wipe it all off. If you've never used tung oil before, you kind of saturate it on there. Look at how it's already darkening it up. More is better on this. And you apply it on, really saturate it. It kind of sucked all that up. I'm going to add more. Then you let it sit for about 5 minutes or so. Oh yeah, it's really drenched now. And then you come back and wipe off the excess. All right, I'm gonna let that sit. We'll let it sit for, like I said, I don't know, 3 to 5 minutes, and I'm gonna come back and wipe off the excess. I'm gonna go wash my hands though. Okay. Taking off any excess and smoothing it out. All right, it's already looking beautiful. I need to let that dry for 12 hours. And then, like I said, I'll end up I'll probably just take my pad to it really fast again. I love these things. I'll take this pad and just you just do a light buffing with it. And then I'll apply another coat. I'll do that 3 times. So this whole process is going to take me a few days, but trust me, it's worth it. You'll see the end result and how beautiful it is. But I really feel that, like I said, the tung oil before the shine juice, it's an extra step, but it is worth it. So when we come back, I'll buff it out and then I'll apply another coat of tung oil. All right, here we are. It's dried overnight and it's already looking really, really good. I'm going to go ahead and take my pad and run it again. And just kind of smooth out any edges that there may be. There shouldn't be really any drips or anything along those lines, but you're just gonna kind of scuff it just a hair, and it gives the next layer of tung oil something to cling on to. So I'll just polish it up. Said you want to keep it moving. That's it. Now I'll put another layer on. This is looking really nice. Same as before. Too much is always better because you can wipe it off. You let it sit there 3 to 5 minutes. Just rub it in really good. And this process may take longer, but like I said, you've worked this hard on it. You want the perfect finish. So it's worth taking a few days to finish it correctly. That's looking amazing. All right, I'm gonna go run and wash my hands, and I'm gonna let that sit there just for a few minutes. When we come back, I'll wipe it all off again. All right, it's been a couple minutes. Just gonna wipe it smooth. You know, any excess that may have dripped or anything. Nothing too crazy, just you want to make sure that it's a nice even coat. You want to get any streaks. All right. Looks nice and even. It's all coated. I'm going to go ahead and I'll apply another coat in another 12 hours. And I'm not going to show you that. It's the same principle, but when we come back, we'll start applying the shine juice. All right, I don't know if you could see, but this is so smooth. And the finish, I mean, it's already really, really glossy. I want to go ahead and put one more coat. And that's the thing, this is what I've been talking about. I haven't seen anyone else do this because it does finish to the touch when you first apply it. And you know, I watch other people on videos and they handle it, but it still needs some time to dry. That's why I like it to dry for 24 hours. And then, like I said, sometimes I use a steel wool, but I really like these pads and I like the job that it's doing. So I'm going to go ahead and just do the same thing, that I'm just going to lightly buff this, and then we're going to apply another coat. I actually put, so it's 3 coats of the tung oil, and then I'm going to put 3 coats of the shine juice on this. And then after that, we'll do a wax finish, and it's already looking absolutely perfect. I probably could stop here, but I might as well, you know, I'm not in a hurry, and I might as well, I went this far, make it absolutely perfect. So I'm going to go ahead and apply the final coat, or another coat, and I won't show you the final coat because it's the same process. But when we come back, there'll be 3 coats of the shine juice, and then we'll do the wax finish on it. So let me go grab the shine juice and my goggles, and we'll apply this. Once again, just a light buffing, nothing crazy. I'm not applying hardly any pressure to this. Wow, that's looking perfect. And now the final, or the finish here, shine juice. And I apply a little bit of pressure to this when I do it. Wow, it's really looking perfect. So I'll apply, like I said, I'm going to do that one more time, but I'm not going to go through that process on camera. You see basically the process of what I'm doing. I'll give you another tip with this. So Captain Eddie talks about if you make this, because of the denatured alcohol, alcohol evaporates at a very low temperature. So through time, your mix ends up being off, and you have to add more denatured alcohol and everything else. To slow up that process, I have a little mini fridge in my shop, and even if you could squeeze it into your regular refrigerator, I would make sure that it's absolutely sealed tight and nothing's leaking in there, because I mean, this is hazardous. But I have a little fridge that I throw mine in there, and so I keep all mine refrigerated at a very low temperature, so the evaporation, I don't even know if it does evaporate. If not, it does slow up quite a bit. So that's a little tip when you make your own shine juice. And like I said, once I discovered this stuff's amazing. You get a really high gloss finish. And like I said, you don't necessarily have to go through this process. You could put on a couple coats day one and call it quits. I just find through time it starts dulling, and if you have a piece that people touch or handle, you know, it starts losing its shine. So I discovered this process, and I get a real high gloss finish, and it appears to last. So that's why I'm taking you through the steps of how I do it. So when we come back, I've already applied the third coat of shine juice. I'm going to do that tomorrow, and then but when we come back, we'll end up waxing it up, and we'll finish it. Here it is. It's dry. And I'm going to do something a little bit different than I normally do. I'm going to end up using this Hut Perfect pen polish. I have actually never used this on a bowl before, and this is a high gloss pen polish finish. Normally I have a whole buffing system, and I usually use that. I've done it in a couple of my other videos, and I use that at the end. But I'm curious because I've used this on a pen before, and it comes out really nice. I'm really curious what it's going to do to the bowl. I have a feeling it's going to be beautiful. And so it's wax. I feel I can't mess it up doing it this way. But I just want to see what the high gloss will do to it. So I'm going to move the camera so maybe you can get a better view of the wax being applied and then the buffing of it off. And then that'll be it. We'll be finishing it up. Here we are. I'm hoping that you could see the wax being applied. Basically, as it spins, you just kind of press this along there and keep on applying a thick coat of wax. And then we'll take the towel, and then I'll kind of buff it off with a towel. And that's about it. It is smooth, shiny, and nice. I will take it off. I'll finish the bottom, and when we come back, it'll be completely done. All right, there it is. I'm happy with the results. It came out absolutely beautiful. It's a high gloss finish on it. It is extremely smooth and perfect. I can't find any flaws in it. And, you know, that's my way of finishing. And, you know, if you have a better way that you're more comfortable with, by all means, do it your way. I just get a lot of questions on how I finish my projects, and, you know, what, you know, finishing I use, the shine juice, the tung oil, everything. So that's my whole procedure on how I get it done. You know, and somebody may have a better way, and that's fine, but that's my way. But if you know, all the same, I hope you liked the video. I hope you learned a little something. And please, if you're not a subscriber, don't forget to subscribe. I continue to come out with new videos and new projects. and I'm going to keep them coming as long as people keep subscribing and keep watching. I also get a lot of questions about things that I use in my videos, you know, like the pads I use the whole time, or any of the chemicals or waxes. I'm going to start having links at the bottom of the video, so you could find them online and order them yourself. So in my videos, I even started putting them in my past videos. People ask me about my scraper and everything. I'll have direct links, so if you want to purchase any of that stuff, you could find it easily online. And that's about it. Thanks for all the support from everybody. Feel free to leave comments. I try to answer every single person that writes me. And once again, I do appreciate everything. Thank you. Thank you.